Hi, I'm Jenny from Cranley and I'd like to show you how to make an origami lucky crane. So starting with a square piece of paper, you'll need to, in this case I've used a single-sided, so it's a duo with the white on the other side, so I can see as I'm folding how close I've lined everything up. So I know if I draw back slightly from the corner, I can just see the white. And then if I push it back up until the white has just gone, I know that will be good and square when I run my thumb. So pulling the finger back down and running along the back edge, and then sharpening that fold with the fingernails. So in this case I've just rubbed my thumbnail against the pad of my index finger. Again, making a second fold to make the smaller triangle, and again just lining it up. This one's slightly easier because we'll know it's correct by pinching this corner and lining up this edge here. So again, drawing the finger down and across, and then sharpening the edge. Okay, now I'm going to open up what we've just folded by lifting one corner, putting the finger in all the way to the back so that it opens up all the way to the point. Then again, lining everything up as best we can. That will probably come down once I pinch it, which it is. There we go. So see, I've just pinched there and there, slide along both edges, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. Sometimes making it easier, this folds just in one direction at the moment, so if you create it in both directions by folding it in the reverse direction from what you've already done, or on the other side. And again, just popping the finger into the opening, and where there's the point there, just popping your finger on it. Line up the point at the end where everything is loose on the outside of the original paper. So I'm just going to make those nice and sharp again. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second stage. This is kind of a crucial part and worth spending a little bit more time on. We're going to just pinch along this middle line. We're going to fold in the corner, going down to the outer edge of the paper. So where it lifts up, and then just gently roll and pinch a little point on that corner, and then line up the edge along the middle fold. Always be careful not to go across the middle fold. This will cause complications later on. So we do that on that side and on the opposite side. Then turn it over and do the same again. So it's quite handy to just rub your finger and help the paper roll. If you've got good origami paper, which is thin but holds the fold well, you'll find this easier than perhaps with normal paper. Gosh, I can hardly see the line. Sometimes, in this case, I'm just going to run my thumb across and just check where that middle line is. There we go. There are some papers you'll use that can leave a white mark where the crease is. Sometimes when you're learning that can be useful, but it doesn't necessarily look so great on your final origami piece. So we have a kite shape. We've got the central point of the paper as the top of the kite shape. So again, I'm going to fold down that central point to make a line along the top of the triangles we've just folded. Now this one's going to need to be a very flexible joint, so I'm going to pinch it and then fold it over again in the other direction. So it's folded in both directions. Okay, now this is where things get interesting with the next level of opening up of the paper. So if I start with the side that's slightly better folded, I seem to have a very slight tear there. Okay, just pinch it down. If I open up the triangles I've just made, you can see the large triangle there and the three outer ones. And then lifting the top piece up to the line that we've just made by folding down the central point. Then I'm going to fold in this corner. This can be helped by, sometimes it needs a little bit of persuading, and doing the same on the other side. And this can, so if you just pinch where the join is here and slide your finger along, it should just follow the folds you've just made. So that's what we've got, and we're going to do the same again on the other side. So turning over, open out, pull up to the line closest to the center point, and then we're going to pinch on this corner point and ease the paper up into the right position to follow the folds, and again the same on the other side. Okay, so now we have, we'll call this the bottom, where we've got the two folds that can move independently, and the top where they can't. Now where the bottom is, we are going to fold up. So that's one side, so turning it around to show you, that's one side down, and then to match on the other side, fold it up, and you'll see it's at a kind of, I guess, a 60 degree, what have we got there? It's not quite 180, it's more than 90, but we're probably looking at about 120-ish degrees there. But this is where the main shape of the Lucky crane will come in, so you can probably see there we've got the initial shape. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to again make another fold. So this one's even more tricky than the last one, into that central line. And we're going to do that on all four sides. This will help us to shape the head and the tail. So the neater we get this, particularly on this point on the outer edge, the neater our head and tail will be. You can see on this one it's not going to be particularly neat, but maybe we can use that as the tail end. I tend to use the sharpest point as the head because it looks neater that way. So now we have this shape. So again, as always, making those sharp points, nice sharp folds. Okay, we're going to turn these up again, so as we did, and again, and this is where you'll find out whether I've done this correctly or not. So we open this part, so we've got the two edges that move. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the middle, pop the finger between the two parts, and then push that up between. Now you see my mark there isn't quite strong enough. Push that up in between the two. And if the fold isn't quite neat enough, what you can do is you can just pinch along here, which become, in this case, possibly the tail, we'll see. And down at the bottom you can see there's a bit of a, it's not quite as neat as I'd like, it's a bit puckered. So I'm just going to pop my nail in there. If you have a paper tool, you can push that down into there and then just encourage them into the right shape. And again on this side, go to the center, open half, and then push that bit there up, sometimes handy with your thumb, up between two sheets, and then going along this fold to refold it in this direction. And just checking the bottom again, lovely, and pinching it down. Okay, so we're very close. I can see this side is a little neater than this side, so what I'm going to do is use this side for the head. Now to do the head, you normally want a fold about a third of the way down from the tip to the base, and do a line that angles across. Often that's how it'll be shown in a book. I find personally it's easier to just run my thumb down between the joint, or my finger in fact, and then just pinch where I want the head to start. This way I have a little more control over the angle that the head takes. And I can pinch it like that. And there we go. That is the basics of the Lucky Crane. You can see that's the head's not. If I just pinch the paper a bit, it'll work into a slightly better shape. And if you want your crane to be looking more upright, you can just pinch it lower down and let it come up. No, it is not going to do it today, but there we go. Now, the last thing you can do with your Lucky Crane is to inflate it. So you take your Lucky Crane, and there's a hole. If you pull the wings apart, there's a hole on the underside, and you just blow in there as if it was a balloon. And it puffs up. And there you have a lucky crane. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your own lucky crane.